pleasure to be here, and what a beautiful day and what a great event. I am Dr. Helen Cornley. I am the Associate Dean for Administration for the College of Nursing and Health Sciences. I am very proud to be here, and I am very proud to be able to introduce our Dean, who is the energy and the vision behind what we do here in the College of Nursing and Health Sciences. She truly is our fearless leader. And with that, I will introduce to you, for a welcome, Dr. Divina Grossman.
I just told my husband, who's here today, that I feel like it's my bat mitzvah. So he said, I hope you have your readings in Hebrew ready. Good afternoon to all of you. It is my pleasure to welcome you to this historic occasion in the College of Nursing and Health Sciences at Florida International University. As we prepare to break ground in this new building that will be the gateway to the future Academic Health Sciences Center at FIU, I would like to recognize some special individuals who are here today. With me on the stage, our Provost, Dr. Ronald Berkman, our President, Dr. Modesto Maidik, our Trustee, Dr. Albert Dotson Sr., and our lead architect for the new building, Jan Weymouth. And I would like to acknowledge the presence of the Dean of our College of Medicine, Dr. John Rock. And a number of FIU vice presidents are in the audience as well. Sandra Gonzalez-Levy, VP of External Relations. And I thought I saw a couple more. I can't see them now. But thank you for being here. The chair of our Faculty Senate at FIU, Dr. Bruce Haupley. Where are you, Bruce? The chair of our Nursing Development Council, Darlene Boitel Perez. I know she was here. Where are you, Darlene? Darlene, would you please rise and be recognized? Darlene is a double alumna of nursing at FIU, and she's also our donor. And she's logged a lot of time, a lot of hours in visiting donors with me. So Darlene is the chair of our Development Council. And we have numerous donors, CEOs, members of our Nursing Advisory Council. And those that are here that I have seen, I would like to recognize in alphabetical order. Baptist Health South Florida, I know that Deborah Mulvihill, the Corporate Chief Nursing Officer, is here. Javier Hernandez-Licto, I saw you, Javier, the CEO of South Miami Hospital. And Maria Suarez, who's the Director of Scholarship Programs at Baptist. From the Community Health Incorporated of South Dade, we have the Vice President, May Goins. Where are you, May? Please rise, thank you. And although we don't have Colonel Brodus Hartley, who's the CEO, even better, we have Dr. Jacqueline Hartley, who was the former director of the School of Nursing at FIU. Yay, Jackie. And we have the president of FAAN Haïtien, who's also an FIU alum, the Haitian Women of Miami. And where are you, Marlene Bastien? She's over there. We have our longtime supporters. I call them the co-CEOs of Gomard Scientific, Daphne and John Eggert. And also some loyal and generous supporters from Hospital Corporation of America, East Florida Division. And I told them they could not go to Day Days in Tallahassee today because they have to be at this groundbreaking. So Michael Joseph, the CEO of the division. Michael Houston, the CFO. And Mauricio Servent, the CEO of Kendall Regional Medical Center. From Health Choice Network, we have the Vice President for Managed Care, Margarita Olet, who's sitting over there. And another very generous and longtime supporter, the Health Foundation of South Florida, our wonderful friend, Dr. Stephen Marcus, who's the president. And the Vice President, Peter Wood, up there. And when you want people to show up at your bat mitzvah, you call in all your friends. So half of the board of the foundation is here. Dr. Quinton Hedgepeth, Dr. Stanley Wharton, thank you, and Dr. Omar Pasalodos. Where are you, Omar? From Memorial Hospital, Miramar, we have the CEO, Aurelio Fernandez, and the Chief Nursing Officer, Leah Carpenter. Where are you, Omar? Would you please rise, Aurelio and Leah? And from Miami-Dade Area Health Education Center, we have the Executive Director, Martha Sanchez. From the Miami-Dade County Health Department, our very dynamic administrator of the health department, she's now Dr. Lillian Rivera. From the Miami-Dade College School of Nursing, my partner, Leslie Pryor. Where are you, Leslie? And they have a new president of their medical center campus, and that's Dr. Anita Kaplan, who's back there. From the Miami Jewish Home and Hospital for the Aged, we have our wonderful friend, the Assistant Executive Director, Joyce Kutcher. From Mount Sinai Medical Center, also our generous scholarship donors, we have the CEO, Stephen Sonnenreich, and the Chief Nursing Officer, Karen Moyer. From the North Dade Medical Foundation, we have the former Executive Director, Sandra Giblin, and a number of board members are here. I know I saw Bill Heffernan. Where are you, Bill? And from the Nursing Shortage Consortium of South Florida, we have the Executive Director, Ralph Egues. From Sheridan Healthcare, which is a very generous supporter of our nurse anesthesia program, Dr. Drozdow could not be here today, but we have Linda Grossman, who's Director of Education and Outreach for Sheridan. Where are you, Linda? From Wyeth Pharmaceuticals, our loyal and wonderful supporter of our nurse practitioner programs for a long time, and that's Alida Sobrino Valdez. And I'd like to acknowledge the presence of our architects from HOK. And I would like all of them to please rise and be recognized. I know I saw Tim Blair, Michael Harris, and our builders. You can't build a building without the construction company. And we have the Vice President of Skanska Construction Company, Walter Myros. And of course, you have to have a project manager for a new building, and so that is Oscar Irigoyen. I just quickly took a look and realized that I forgot to recognize Prospero Herrera from the North Dade Medical Foundation Board. And a point of personal privilege, I know that many of you think that I'm married to FIU, but I actually have a wonderful husband who I've been married to for 25 years, Dr. Joel Grossman. And we have the president of the District 5 Florida Nurses Association here, and that's Jill Tamoresi. Thank you all for joining us this afternoon. The mystical writer Thomas à Kempis once wrote, "The loftier the building, the deeper must the foundation be laid." All of you who have nurtured and supported us in the last many years by funding our academic programs, faculty, scholarships, and endowments have already laid a foundation deep and solid that will sustain our college and this building well into the future. That is why when you came in, we asked you to take those bricks and to write a message to us, and those bricks will be a part of the foundation of the new building for the College of Nursing and Health Sciences. In October of 2006, a merger occurred between the School of Nursing and the School of Health Sciences, creating a new College of Nursing and Health Sciences, whose 7 disciplines are represented by these banners here today. We have nursing, athletic training, communication sciences and disorders, health information management, health sciences, occupational therapy, and physical therapy. I would like to ask our program directors and department chairs, as well as our 2 associate deans, to rise and be recognized. We are proud of the many successes and achievements that illustrate the academic excellence, innovation, and impact of our college. Every year we graduate the 2nd largest number of baccalaureate prepared nurses in the entire state. We have one of the top nurse anesthetist programs in the region. We have pioneered the first in the nation and award-winning foreign physicians nursing program that was just featured in Voice of America a few days ago. And we have graduated 450 nurses already from that program. We have on our faculty a member of the prestigious Institute of Medicine of the National Academy of Sciences and 5 members of the American Academy of Nursing. We are building a technologically advanced facility for highly collaborative nursing and health education, one that would enable us to create unique learning experiences to prepare competent, knowledgeable, and compassionate nurses and healthcare professionals for the future. We are especially excited about our 3rd floor simulation center. I have to look at Jan because he's designing our building, and the 4th floor rehabilitation center. These centers will contain functionally flexible and versatile teaching laboratories that will serve our students. These laboratories can be used individually or together so that students across our multiple disciplines and within the Academic Health Sciences Center will learn to work together as members of a complete healthcare team. I would like to recognize those who share in our vision and have already made the first donations toward the acquisition of communication, instructional, and simulation technology for this building. And we have their names on the front of the program. Joan K. Stout, RN. She is a nurse and the president of the Hugaton Foundation. She's not here today, but she joined us a few weeks ago at our Donor Scholars Luncheon. And we have Sheridan Healthcare Corporation, which is a generous partner of our nurse anesthesia program. And in their honor, we will name the Joan K. Stout RN classroom and the Sheridan Healthcare Corporation conference room in the new building. And I would also like to acknowledge on the back of the program, we have a number of faculty and alumni who have already made their checks and contributions at this early date, and their names are here. And I know I've seen Dr. Kathy Blaze, Byung Park, who's a transplant nurse at Jackson, and many others who are here. Would you please rise so that we can recognize you? And to those of you who are thinking about it and have yet to sign on the check or the agreement, I would like to urge you to hasten to secure the future of nursing and health professions education at FIU in this time of a critical and continuing nursing shortage. Today's groundbreaking is not only the first step in the creation of what promises to be an amazing facility. It is also a first step for all of us to work together to revolutionize healthcare education today and in the future. Thank you. It's always dangerous when I recognize who's present, because invariably I always forget somebody. And the person who has probably traveled the furthest today, someone who flew in from Jacksonville, the Vice President of Signature Programs for Blue Cross Blue Shield of Florida, Catherine Kelly. And now I would like to introduce someone whose name was inadvertently not in the program, but who's the most important person of all. He was the one who 9 years ago recruited me back to FIU, someone who believed in our dreams and aspirations, someone who had confidence that we would be able to achieve our goals, and someone whose leadership and vision made all of this happen. Dr. Ronald Berkman, the Provost.
Thank you, Divina. I'm going to be very brief, although I have had a lot and long experience with nursing and health sciences. Let me just say that when I became the Dean of the College of Health and Urban Affairs, which was yet another amalgamation after the amalgamation that Divina talked about, I took over a nursing program that had 36 nursing students in the baccalaureate program and 6 students in the master's program, and truly was tottering on the edge of extinction. So I soon after that, okay, and I tell this story a lot, okay, asked what happened to Divina Grossman? You know, where's Divina Grossman? And this is true too, and I tell this story a lot. Until this time, although Divina and I worked as co-deans on the Biscayne Bay campus for, she was a director, a chair at the time, and I was a dean at the Biscayne Bay campus for maybe 4 years. I never spoke a word to Divina, okay? But the car that was there in the morning before mine, the earliest, okay, was Divina's. And the car that was there when I left was Divina's. And the presence that was there in between that morning and that afternoon was always Divina's. And there's sometimes in leadership when you can just feel, just sense, without a resume, without a discussion, without references, without due diligence, you could just feel the passion and the ability, the innate ability of someone to exercise leadership. And that's what I felt about Divina without ever spoken a word to her. Well, she had gone to Texas. We brought her back from Texas, just took a lunch, okay, to convince her to abandon Texas and come back. But the program was really on the verge of extinction. I had already gone to New York one time to speak to the accrediting agency to beg their indulgence. Okay, give me a little time. Let me find a new director. Okay, I promise we'll have 42 students by the next semester. All right. And Jerry Plummer, is that her name? Jerry Plummer. She's African American, the first African American dean. Jerry Felton. First African American Dean of Nursing in the United States, and of all places, the Dean of Iowa, right? Dean of the School of Nursing in Iowa, okay? And this was such a wonderful lady. And she was so empathetic and sympathetic, and understood South Florida and FIU as a minority university, and the need for FIU to keep this program going, okay? And then I brought Divina up with me after she became the director, okay? And she gave us time. She gave us time. She gave us care. She came down here and told us what we needed to do to get the program accredited. So this is really for a provost or for a dean, health sciences and nursing, okay? is truly maybe a once-in-a-career experience. To watch it go from dystrophy to where it's come today, to the partnerships that are here, to the 400 plus undergraduate students, 400 plus undergraduate students, just in the baccalaureate program, to the nurse anesthesia program, to the nurse practitioner program, to the amalgamation, something I've always wanted between health sciences and nursing, to that incredible amalgamation. It is just really a once in a career or twice in a career story. And I just want to thank all of those who had a role in making it possible. I felt like I just got it started and everybody else made it possible. For a while, the enrollments grew, the faculty grew, the research grew, but I always said to Divina, what's with the NCLEX scores, Divina? Okay, everything is going up but the NCLEX scores, okay? And then 2 years ago, I believe, as you know, FIU had the highest NCLEX scores in the state of Florida. So, to me, this is a program, health sciences, and all the disciplines around you, and nursing, okay, that has truly, in every way, earned this building. So it's yours, and I'm sure you'll know what to do with it. But even someone who had more to do with all of that and made the impossible possible. Actually, this idea was hatched to show you, the great thinking that goes on sometimes when leadership or administrators have an idea. Was that Mitch and I were standing on the balcony looking at Health Life Science 1 and wondering, well, now we have a medical school. I mean, where can we put it? So, you get it first, you think about where to put it later, right? So I said, well, why don't we, because Divina had come to me a couple of years before and said, can I build a building? And I said, sure, Divina, you raise the money, and you can build a building, no problem, all right? And with Divina, I had to be careful saying that. So anyway, the president and I are standing on the balcony, and we said, and together we said, all right, why don't we take nursing and health sciences from its present building, the program has prospered, it's grown, etc., build a new building for health and life science, for nursing, and health sciences, and allow the medical school to inhabit that secondary space that they leave behind. And we called John Rock, and he said, that's a great idea. So let me introduce to you the person who germinated it, President Medid.
I'm sure that some of you, those that watch what goes on at the university, are aware of a certain irony here. And here's the irony. We are experiencing dramatic budget cuts. I spent all but an hour and a half of today in the office thinking about we don't want to cut anything, but if we had to cut, would we cut this, would we cut that? How would we distribute the cuts? So the whole day we have spent trying to figure out what the legislature is going to do, how deep the cut is going to be, how will we affect different colleges. We're not going to cut it across the board. We're going to cut certain colleges more than others. We're going to cut some a lot. Nursing, by the way, is way at the top. At the top in terms of lesser or no cut. At about 10 to 4, my assistant comes in and he says, Sir, you're late. Ron and I are, we do this. You have to inaugurate the 105,000 square foot College of Nursing, okay? And And let me try to explain that, irony. Obviously, one way to explain it is you could say it's in our DNA. Particularly if you add an IV, try to figure out what happens if you combine DNA and IV. One of our smart students, you combine them not in secret. Divina! So that's the, thank you very much. What was your name, young lady? What was that? Christina. Where are you from, Christina?
Miami, Florida.
Miami, Florida. Okay, what's your last name?
Madden.
Christina Madden. Thank you. So one answer is, this is about Divina. And after what the provost said Divina had done, we need to build Divina a palace. I mean, that would be a divine palace, if you will. But as it turns out, it's, although that had a lot to do with it, there's another, explanation. I'm an engineer, I'm not an accountant, I'd be a terrible accountant because I'm always rounding things off to the nearest 10, 20, 30, 40, 100 million. So basically our budget is, in very round numbers, about $1 billion, okay? $250 million construction budget and a $750 million operating budget. The construction budget, which comes from that tax source over there, is doing well and fine. So last year, we had the best year we have ever had in construction appropriations, $78 million, 40% more than we ever. That's because Marco Rubio, Speaker of the House, and he took care of us. $78 million in just 1 year. Total about $250 million of construction. None of that money has been taken back. That money is committed, it is bonded, it is ours. Now, we also have a $750 million operating budget. And a good slice of that, about a third of it, about $250 million, comes directly from the state, and that comes straight from state taxes. 10% of that is at risk, $25 million. So when you see the big building going up, and then you say, but boy, it's empty. It's empty because we didn't get the operating money to hire the faculty, to fund the students, and to bring in, the students. Better times will come, but I wanted to make that clear because I felt a little strange coming here, frankly. I've spent the whole day cutting people's budgets, and now we're, inaugurating or laying the first stone in the Queen's Palace. Not that the Queen doesn't deserve it, and just to show that once in a while I can one-up Joel, I can up Divina, Joel. She said that you thought she was almost married, to FIU, and that and sometimes it appears that way. Well, I'll tell you, I am not almost, I'm married, FIU. I waited for decades to find someone who had been able to graduate from FIU with a bachelor's and a master's with a 4.0. And I met her at commencement. It's true, she still has 2 more courses to take, but I'm sure if any of her professors are in the audience, they will take care of that. And I literally married someone like Darlene, a double, FIU alumni. I don't know if there is such a thing, but it sounds pretty good. And she is chairing the university-wide health force, healthy task force. And every day I find out something else that is dangerous, poisonous, or potentially harmful to me. So I'd like to introduce the First Lady of the university, who is absolutely committed to health. Just look at me. My wife, Nancy. Nancy would just say, raise her. I would also like to say, that as it turns out, Divina, there's one other little thing I have to mention. You said Dr. Berkman, Dr. Medik, then you hesitated, and you introduced Trustee Dotson. I want you to know that Trustee Dotson holds an honorary doctorate, and when I get around to introducing him, I will render him the honor that an honorary doctorate gives you, which is to be called doctor. So he is also Dr. Dotson. and he is sitting there very quietly enjoying the irony of the situation. I'd also like to add my thanks to the other double FIU alumna. The provost told me it might be more appropriate to say an FIU alumna once over rather than twice. I think that's a metaphysical discussion that we will have later for those of you who will meet under the tree here and discuss that. And I want to thank you, Darlene, for your commitment to your alma mater, and particularly